The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight.
Hey folks, it's the Blind Guy here, coming back at you with another good old movie recommendation, and this one is brought to you by our brand new sponsors of the channel, Paul and Lori. I love you guys. Thank you so much for sponsoring the channel and helping make this possible. We are taking a look at the Christmas classic movie 1945's Christmas in Connecticut, starring Barbara Stanwyck, Dennis Morgan, and directed by Peter Godfrey. This movie's got a really clever and cute little plot to it. It's a romantic comedy. Barbara Stanwyck works as a columnist for a magazine. I think it's a magazine or a little newspaper. I think it's a magazine, almost like a Good Housekeeping type thing, where she talks about her life in Connecticut with her husband and her little kid and the meals that she makes and how she's a housewife and a homekeeper. And the one problem is she's making it all up. She actually lives in New York City and she doesn't know how to do any of that kind of stuff. She's single. Well, a World War II vet spends time in the hospital and really makes it through his recovery by reading her articles. And so someone sends in his story to the magazine editor. And the magazine editor does not know that Barbara Stanwyck's character makes all of this up. He actually thinks she lives in Connecticut. And so he sets it up to where the vet will come and spend Christmas with her and have Christmas dinner with her and her family. And chaos ensues. It's a great little story. It reminds me of these a bit newer romantic comedies where you have this facade or this charade going and one of the characters has to keep it up. It reminds me of like The Proposal, While You Were Sleeping. I almost think they might be inspired by this one. This one is pretty cute, pretty clever. I think what it has going for it, of course, Barbara Stanwyck's amazing, but it has a very nice Christmas atmosphere to it. You have the decorating of the tree. You have people arriving on actual one-horse sleighs like the Jingle Bells song, and it just has a really cool atmosphere to it. There are some aspects of it that are maybe a little bit on the corny side, but really not too bad for considering when it was made. One of the issues I might have with it is Barbara Stanwyck's character falls for Dennis Morgan's character, the vet, very, very quickly in this movie. It's like as soon as she sees him, she like instantly falls in love with him. I don't know if that really matches her character too well. Up to that point, I didn't get the impression that she would have been that type of person. But I also understand that they're doing it probably more so for time constraints to keep the movie under 2 hours. But the movie is well worth watching. It's often considered to be one of the great Christmas classics. Probably not as good as Holiday Affair or It's a Wonderful Life, but it's worth watching. I think I'll probably try to watch it every year. I've seen it a few times now. I first saw it last year. It came out in 1945. Originally was supposed to star Bette Davis as the columnist, and then Barbara Stanwyck took her place. I have to say, I like Bette Davis, but I think Barbara Stanwyck is the perfect person to play this role. She's got a very nice demeanor to her and comes across as intelligent but sweet, nice at the same time. Bette Davis is a little bit more feisty, you could say, and I'm not so sure she would have come across quite right in the role. The movie has been remade. It was actually remade as a made-for-TV movie in 1992, directed by, of course, you guessed it, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and to say the least, the movie was not very good. Surprising, right? But it has not been redone other than that, and I think that's good because today it would not be done the same as it was back then. I think it would be ruined. The movie critic Emmanuel Levy actually gave this movie a negative review because he said that it was pushing a conservative agenda and was causing women to give back the emancipation that they achieved during World War II. And I'm sorry, can we stop pretending that going out and working a job and getting a paycheck is the only way to live a fulfilling life? Can we also stop pretending that women who do choose to be housewives and raise their kids and live at home are not some of the hardest working individuals on the planet? I'm just so sick of this agenda today that the only way you can live a fulfilling life is to go out and work a job and get a paycheck. I think that there are far more fulfilling things to do in life, and I have 2 jobs. So I just think that's a ridiculous criticism for this movie. Not only that, it'd be nice to have a movie that maybe had a bit more of a conservative slant today, considering that all the movies made today have some kind of 3rd, 4th wave feminism agenda to them. So I just think that's ridiculous. This movie is not does not have any issues with it in that regard. It's a wholesome little movie that shows the power of true love and wanting to raise a family and maybe participate in some traditional gender roles, perhaps. So ignore that criticism. It is ill-founded. The movie, I believe, scores a 7.2 on IMDb. I think that might even be a little bit low. I maybe give it a 7.4, 7.5. One that if you're into Christmas movies, I think you should definitely own it. I think it needs to be in your collection as one of those old 1940s great atmospheric Christmas classics. If you want to help support the channel, you can rent the movie using the link below. You can send us an email. You can give us a donation on Venmo, which is also in the description below. I thank you guys so much. We actually passed 300 subscribers. I never thought that we'd have that many, so I just thank you. We're keeping these older movies in people's memories and maybe introducing them to some younger people. And so I really, really appreciate that. I'm going to try to get 2 more videos out before Christmas. So let's hope everything goes well with that. And I just wanted to thank you guys so much for all of the subscriptions and the support and giving us the thumbs up and the ringing that little bell. I guess all that really matters in the end. But I just thank you guys so much. And I will see you on the next episode of A Blind Guy's View. Have a very, very Merry Christmas. And that is Christmas in Connecticut from 1945. Laters on the Menjay.
Latest on the Menjay.
Ships on bigger of the waves are skimming barren summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning, rise and rain. Far from the pure